This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Good evening, my Real News Media TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update for September 23, 2023. And in the news this evening, dental students hit by lightning released from hospital. Two dental high school students who were struck by lightning during a football match and were admitted to the hospital were released last night. Physical trainer Glendale Fizzy said the school community is pleased that the students are recuperating well. It is a great feeling for the rest of the team, family, and everyone, Fizzy said. On Tuesday, 6 students and an official were hit by lightning at a school Issawater Da Costa Cup football match at Charlie Mount. 2 students were from host Charlie Mount, with 4 from Dintil, while the match official was an assistant referee. They were treated at the Lynn Street Hospital, with 4 of the injured individuals released and the 2 dental students admitted. Meanwhile, President of Dintil's Parent Teachers Association, Amoy Levers, expressed a feeling of joy that the 2 students were released. "We are thankful they are showing improvement in their health, and we will always remember the incident and know that with resilience and determination, we will persevere," Levers said. The match, which was stopped immediately after the lightning strike, will be played next week. Portland man stabbed to death in bar fight. A 36-year-old man was stabbed to death during a dispute at a bar in Lower Williams Street, Port Antonio in Portland on Friday night. He is Warren Hill, a vector control agent. Reports are that about 9:40 p.m., Hill was at a bar when an argument developed between himself and a higgler from St. Margaret's Bay. It is alleged that Hill pulled a machete while the higgler drew a knife, which was used to stab Hill in his chest. Hill fell to the ground and the suspect used the machete to chop him in his face. He was taken to the Port Antonio Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. The suspect has been taken into custody. Committal hearing set for senior firefighter accused of sex crime. A committal hearing is to be held on October 3 to determine whether a high-ranking firefighter accused of a sex crime against a teenage girl has a case to answer. The date was set on Friday, September 22, when the matter was called up in the St. James Parish Court before Parish Judge Teresa Fowler. The firefighter remained composed throughout the proceedings. During the hearing, the court was informed that the prosecution's bundle had been served on the defense. Additionally, the clerk of court informed the court that the Crown will seek more time to have discussions with defense counsel. Judge Fowler subsequently set the matter for committal hearing on October 3 and extended the firefighter's bail. St. James police arrested the fireman at his office on August 16 in connection with the incident involving a 14-year-old girl who was on summer job at the Fire Brigade Department in Montego Bay, one of the stations in the West that he oversees. Reports are that the youngster reported the matter to her family, who alerted the police. The senior fireman was subsequently charged with attempted rape and sexual touching after a visit to his office by a police forensics team. In the matter before the court, he is being represented by attorney at law Kevin Johnson. Policy to overhaul system of assigning cops as CPOs takes effect in 2024-2025. The government will be moving to fully implement the Public Officials Protection System policy in the 2024-2025 financial year. The implementation will result in an overhaul of the age-old practice of assigning members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force to provide close protection support for public officials. Addressing the Private Security Regulation Authority's annual conference on Saturday at the Jamaica Conference Center in downtown Kingston, Minister of National Security Horace Chang noted that Protective Services is the second largest division in the JCF with approximately 600 members. There are many of our people in executive positions, both in government and the private sector, and in critical areas like the justice system, who require someone to support them as a driver or aid the camp, so to speak, but that's not a police job. The government has articulated and put together the required policy. It has taken some time to be executed, but we are going to pursue to implement it fully in the new financial year, Dr. Chang said. The POPS policy was approved by Cabinet in September 2021 and is designed to deliver a systematic, practical, and transparent approach by providing the requisite level of protection to public officials against a threat perceived, received, or detected as a consequence of the nature of the duties performed. Quite frankly, beyond our head of state, the head of the executive, the Prime Minister, and the head of the judiciary, who must receive close protection in an effective and a proper way, everyone else who seeks close protection should come from an effective evaluation by the security personnel who understands this kind of activity based on intelligence and assessment of the risk factors involved, Dr. Chang said. Outside of that, I think the private security industry can provide the personnel for that kind of protection. That job does not require a fully trained police professional, he pointed out. In preparation for the increased demand for close protection officers, Dr. Chang informed that the JCF will provide special training and certification in defensive driving, proper use of force, weapon handling, and empty-handed techniques to private security guards. Private security guards to be engaged in this type of service will be required to undergo routine vetting and security checks, including those in cash-in-transit. Those security guards involved in the cash-in-transit and the close protection service will be given minimum standards by the regulatory authority, he added. Dr. Chang noted that the private security industry is critical to Jamaica's national security architecture, with about 280 companies and over 23,000 security guards. Meanwhile, the minister urged industry members to invest in their health and well-being, as security is a high-risk and high-pressure job. I know for many of you, physical fitness and exercise is already a regular discipline, but for others, it may be a challenge. Take time to balance your work and personal life so that you can be your best self. Make it your duty to consistently check your physical and mental health and your relationship with family and friends, he charged. ODPEM recommends a warden system for schools and businesses. The Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management is advising schools and businesses to implement a warden system to assist with the coordination and the safe evacuation of persons during emergencies. Companies and schools should ensure that they have floor wardens. These persons should be so trained and equipped that they can check the facility to ensure that everyone has evacuated the building, Acting Director General Richard Thompson said. He noted that once the persons evacuate and are gathered at the designated assembly point, the floor warden will be able to check the register to ensure that everyone is accounted for. In the event of an earthquake, Thompson said that wardens are to do the necessary inspections to make sure that there are no ruptured pipes or gas leaks in the building. This is just to ensure that you might not have secondary occurrences such as fires and hazardous material leaks, he pointed out. Search and rescue and mass casualty procedures will be handled by the state agencies with responsibility for response and recovery. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.